Alright guys, are you ready for this? Because I have a very fascinating update for you all. And it's an update that I never thought I would ever have to provide you guys with. I honestly thought I was done with my videos for today, but I guess I'm wrong. It has to do with Jadeveon Clowney, and we haven't had an update from him in about a full month, which is absolutely insane considering the caliber of player that Jadeveon Clowney is. Now guys, before we jump into the content, you guys have been really awesome about smashing the like button, and every time I ask you guys, you're more likely to smash the like button. All I'm going to say is every time you like this video, there's a greater chance my content gets shown to more people, which further supports my dream of making this my full-time job, which it currently is. So if you enjoy my content, leave a like, subscribe, and turn on my notifications. But on top of that, guys, my Marvin Harrison murder mystery video goes up tomorrow morning. I'm going to leave a link to it in the description down below. Make sure you go over there, you like it up, you turn on your notifications. We worked really hard on this one. It's by far one of the highest quality pieces of content I've ever made. So, you know, if you guys could go ahead and check it out, I'd appreciate it. On top of that, I live stream on Twitch on Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday night at 9 p.m. Pacific time, but I'm not going to be able to do it this week. So I might be live right now. So go ahead to the description down below, click the Twitch link, and maybe we could talk some football. Now that that dragged out intro's out of the way, break! Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's going on, everybody? Let me catch you up on this Jadeveon Clowney situation, because like I said in our update a month ago, I really can't tell you what is going on in Jadeveon Clowney's head. You see, a player of Clowney's caliber is typically very sought out, and in my last video I admitted openly that I didn't understand why teams wanted him so badly. Well, I kind of got my answer, because I have some pretty awesome subscribers that really know their stuff when it comes to football. You guys explained to me that Jadeveon Clowney is one of the best run-stopping defensive linemen in the entire NFL. And although it doesn't really show up on the stat sheet, the guy is a maniac when it comes to TFLs. And although he's not like a sack master, regardless, he is a matchup nightmare. So a lot of what he does doesn't show up on the stat sheet, and I guess that might be what's scaring some teams away. Well, here's the roller coaster of what's been going on with Clowney. At the very beginning, we thought that the Seattle Seahawks were the front runner to sign Jadeveon Clowney. Again, after all, they were the ones to trade for him. They do need anything they can get to really boost that defense, especially now that the Legion of Boom is gone. They already have Bobby Wagner on the defensive side of the ball, who's one of the best linebackers in the league, and with Russell Wilson under center, they've been a phenomenal team with Jadeveon Clowney. But in addition to this, to give you an idea of where Clowney is and how he did this past season, he had his best statistical year with the Seattle Seahawks. I don't know if that's the fact that he had more help, or maybe the scheme worked for him a little bit better, but he was able to get an interception. He was able to notch a touchdown as well. He forced 4 fumbles, and he was able to deflect 3 passes. On top of that, he had 3 sacks, which was a career low for him, but he had 7 tackles for a loss. Throughout his entire career, he has had fairly pedestrian sack numbers, but he's always been good at notching tackles for a loss. And at this point of his career, he has 71 tackles for a loss, whereas he only has 32 sacks. He was drafted in 2014, and he was the #1 overall pick over Khalil Mack. Now, here's the thing about Clowney that I originally said I don't like the fact that he's not great at getting to the quarterback, yet he's seeking out this much money. But now that I'm over that, there's something about him that really confuses me. You see, the Seattle Seahawks are a contending team, and they offered him a contract, but they made it clear that, look, you're going to be able to get more money elsewhere. And of course, they're realistic, so they didn't really bother with bringing him back. Then the Tennessee Titans were rumored to be interested in Jadeveon Clowney, and he makes a phenomenal fit as well, because whenever your entire offense is based upon a running back, and you more likely than not need a pretty good defense to complement it, and for the most part, the Titans have a very stout defense, so I felt like Clowney would have been a great fit in Tennessee, but that didn't materialize either. Now, a month ago, this is probably what was the strangest thing to me. The Cleveland Browns, which I guess you could make an argument that they're trending towards contention, made a huge offer for Jadeveon Clowney. We're talking about the biggest offer that any team could have made. This is a team that has Jarvis Landry and Odell Beckham Jr. on the offensive side of the ball, a former #1 overall pick in Baker Mayfield, Nick Chubb, who has the potential to be a top 5 running back in the NFL, Kareem Hunt, who was once a top 10 running back in the entire NFL, backing up Nick Chubb, and that's not even the defensive side of the ball. If you get to the defensive side of the ball, Jadeveon Clowney's teammates are going to be Demarius Randall, Sheldon Richardson, Olivier Vernon, Greedy Williams, Denzel Ward, and bro, that's just all off the top of my head. They have literally Myles Garrett on the opposite side of Jadeveon Clowney, and then they would be able to rotate Olivier Vernon in. They don't really even need Jadeveon Clowney. They just want to load up the defensive side of the ball. Yet, for some reason, Clowney said no. Now, I don't know if Clowney just is turned off by the Cleveland Browns organization, because I wouldn't blame him. Maybe he just really wants to win a championship, but if he wanted to win a Super Bowl, wouldn't he go to Seattle? Well, this is where it gets a little bit stranger, and this is what just confuses me even more, because today, Jadeveon Clowney came out and he listed 2 teams that he wants to sign with. And none of this makes sense to me whatsoever. So once again, I'm going to ask all of my subscribers to maybe help me piece this together. Because here are the 2 teams that are on top of Jadeveon Clowney's list. The first team is the New Orleans Saints. And they don't have much salary cap space to spare at all currently, but of course they are a contending team. They're a proven winner. They're not one of those teams that on paper they look good, kind of like the Browns. They're a team that looks good, that has the talent, and that consistently puts themselves into positions to win, although they've kind of, in my opinion, I think they've gotten screwed out of some playoff victories more recently. So with that being said, this is what makes me think Clowney really wants to contend, because he's requesting to sign with the New Orleans Saints, but the Saints don't have any cap space at the moment. They're paying Drew Brees, they're paying Mike Thomas, they signed Jameis Winston this past offseason, although it wasn't for that much. They have to pay Alvin Kamara really soon, and then on the defensive side of the ball, they paid Cam Jordan. Like, it just doesn't work. They just don't have cap space. Now, wait until you see the second team Clowney wants to sign with, because this makes it even funnier to me, and this is coming from a fan of the team. Oh man, I just spoiled it. The other team that Jadeveon Clowney wants to sign with is the Dallas Cowboys. Now, we all know the first thing that comes to mind when we discuss Dallas Cowboys contracts and Dallas Cowboys salary cap is, well, dude, they haven't even paid Dak Prescott yet. They just handed Amari Cooper a fat contract, like a huge $100 million contract. They have Michael Gallup, and then they just drafted CeeDee Lamb, which I thought was very extra, but a very sexy pick. But on top of that, any team that's paying a running back max money, that has yet to pay their quarterback, that also paid an edge rusher max money like a couple years prior, I'm talking about DeMarcus Lawrence, chances are they're not going to be able to sign you. There's no way, unless if Clowney's down to take a fat pay cut, but even then, I don't understand why, because in my opinion, and this is a Dallas Cowboys fan saying it, so I'm allowed to bash my team, I put the Cowboys in the same tier as the Cleveland Browns, a team that on paper looks really good, a team that on paper we consistently expect to make deep playoff runs, and yet they never are able to do it. And maybe that changes this year, but in my opinion, the only thing that the Cowboys have over the Cleveland Browns is marketing power. So I don't know if Jadeveon Clowney is pursuing something greater. Maybe he wants to be more of a public figure, which makes sense. I respect that. If you pay attention, previous Cowboy greats are well-known public figures. Dak Prescott, extremely marketable. Ezekiel Elliott, extremely marketable. Hell, Dez Bryant, not really marketable, but we all knew who he was. We understood his personality. Tony Romo, extremely marketable. Jason Witten was able to get a one-year deal with Monday Night Football after he retired. We all know who Jason Witten is. That's the only thing the Cowboys have over the Cleveland Browns. So at the end of the day, the biggest mystery to me is the fact that I don't understand what Jadeveon Clowney's going for. I said this in my last video. I'm going to say it again. Does he want money? Does he want to win? Does he want marketing power? Does he want to go to a large market so more people know who he is? Does he have the personality for that? I understand that. If you go to Twitch right now and you look at Ezekiel Elliott's Twitch, he's pulling numbers, bro. He's pulling like 2,000. You know, like he's able to pull like maybe 600 to 2,000 live viewers. Meanwhile, Kyler Murray, who again, focal point of the Arizona Cardinals, pulls about 100. You know, and I see various NFL stars streaming and not pulling in numbers like that. So maybe that's what's motivating him. But at the end of the day, he's going to have to take a fat pay cut to do it. And if he does, well, I hope it works out. That's betting a lot on your personality. Let me know in the comment section down below, what do you think about all this? Because at the meantime, the Tennessee Titans are still really interested in Clowney, but Clowney doesn't want them. I, as a Cowboy fan, don't think this is going to happen. I don't think the Saints fans think this could happen either, but I'd like to hear what you have to say. Where do you think Clowney's going to go at the end? Aside from that, I'm your boy Microphone, and I'll catch you guys in our next upload.